Today, we're diving into something that's absolutely essential to our modern world, but it's a process that happens almost completely out of sight. It's a true unseen force in the oil and gas industry, and we're about to pull back the curtain. So let's start with a little thought experiment. When you picture all that massive oil and gas infrastructure, pipelines that stretch for thousands of miles, these huge, sprawling refineries, what do you think is the single biggest threat hiding inside them? Is it the immense pressure? Maybe corrosion? What do you think? Well, believe it or not, the answer is surprisingly simple and also incredibly destructive. It's just gunk, a slow, relentless buildup of all kinds of unwanted materials that can literally choke the very arteries of the industry. All right, so let's dig into that. We need to understand what we're really dealing with here. What exactly is this industrial gunk, and why is it such a massive, massive problem? First off, you've got to appreciate the environment we're talking about. Getting oil and gas from the ground to your car is not a gentle process. We're talking about punishing temperatures, absolutely crushing pressures, and a constant flow of all sorts of corrosive stuff. It's basically the perfect storm for creating buildup inside all that equipment. And wow, take a look at this list. This is a true rogues gallery of contaminants. You've got everything from plain old rust and thick, nasty sludge to sticky grease and oil residues. And then there's scale. You know that hard, chalky stuff that builds up inside a kettle? Now just imagine that on an industrial scale, clogging up billion-dollar machinery. Every single one of these is a major problem waiting to happen. And listen, this is so much more than just things looking a little dirty. The crucial thing to understand is that this buildup acts like cholesterol in an artery. It narrows the flow, which means pumps have to work way, way harder, and that wastes a ton of energy. Worse, even a really thin layer can hide corrosion underneath, which could lead to a catastrophic failure. It's a direct threat to the bottom line and, way more importantly, to safety. So if that gunk is the villain of our story, then what's the hero? Well, it's a very sophisticated process designed specifically to fight back, and it's called chemical cleaning. Now, at its heart, chemical cleaning is pretty much what it sounds like. But let's be clear, we are not talking about soap and water here. This involves highly specialized chemical formulas engineered by actual chemists to target and dissolve very specific types of gunk without damaging the super expensive equipment it's stuck to. And this is a perfect way to picture how it works, almost like a play in 3 acts. First, the chemicals get in there and they just start to dissolve the gunk, breaking it down at a molecular level. Then, as the solution flows through the system, it helps to dislodge and lift all those broken down bits right off the surface. And finally, the whole system gets a final flush, which carries all that nasty stuff away, leaving everything pristine and running like new. Okay, so we know what it is. But where is it actually used? Because this isn't just some niche repair job. It's a fundamental part of keeping things running, from the second oil comes out of the ground to the moment it becomes a product you can use. I mean, just think about that entire journey. You've got deep-sea production platforms, thousands of miles of pipelines, and these incredibly complex refineries. Every single one of those stages is vulnerable to this kind of buildup. That makes the need for this kind of cleaning pretty much universal. And here are just some of the key battlegrounds. It's used for routine pipeline maintenance to keep everything flowing. It cleans out those massive storage tanks and vessels. It's absolutely critical for getting heat exchangers and boilers, which are kind of like the heart of a refinery, back to peak efficiency. And get this is really fascinating. They even use it to clean brand new equipment before it's ever put into service, just to make sure any junk from the manufacturing process is gone. So we know what chemical cleaning is and where it's used, but let's get to the big question. Why does it matter so much? Well, it all comes down to the payoff. We're talking about efficiency, safety, and of course, profitability. This tale of 2 pipes really says it all. I mean, just look at the difference. On the left, you've got the contaminated system. It's wasting huge amounts of energy, it's at a high risk of failure, it leads to expensive downtime, and can even mess with the quality of the final product. Now look at the right side. After chemical cleaning, you've got optimal efficiency, safe and reliable operations, and high-quality standards. And all of that adds up directly to more profitability. The difference is absolutely night and day. And there's another huge benefit here, one that's more important now than ever. By preventing leaks and failures caused by corrosion hiding under all that gunk, professional chemical cleaning is actually a critical line of defense against environmental incidents. A clean system is a safe system for the workers and for the planet. So, as you can probably guess, this whole process is not a DIY job, not even close. It takes deep expertise, a ton of specialized equipment, and years of experience. So let's take a look at the kind of experts who get called in to do this work. To give you a real-world example, this quote from an industry specialist, Bowsher Energy, really nails it. Their whole mission is to provide efficient and cost-effective services that get rid of that entire rogues gallery of gunk we saw earlier. And check out the kind of toolkit these experts bring to the job. We are not talking about a bucket and a brush. We're talking mobile chemical blending units, industrial-scale filtration systems, special heating units, and massive pumps that can move these cleaning solutions through miles and miles of pipeline. It is basically a high-tech chemistry lab on wheels. So the big takeaway here is that this is a precise scientific procedure. You need a whole team of chemists, engineers, and highly skilled technicians who understand the chemistry, the equipment, and the incredibly high stakes of getting it wrong. And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. In a world that is always demanding more energy, but also, and rightly so, demanding higher and higher standards for safety and the environment, how truly vital are these unseen janitors of the energy industry? The work they do deep inside the pipes might be totally invisible, but its impact is felt all around the world every single day.